I'm making this video from Iowa. We own a soybean farm here and we are really struggling right now. The entire soybean industry is collapsing.
If we snapped our fingers and every single illegal immigrant in the United States disappeared, we would literally starve to death. You wonder why I'm so passionate about agriculture and so passionate about immigration as part of agriculture? It's that, guys. You don't know the whole picture. Now, should we have illegal immigrants working in the field? Should we have illegal immigrants working in construction? Should we have illegal immigrants working in hotels and wherever else they might be? No, we shouldn't. But they are, and there's tens of millions of them working in the system.
Breaking news. MAGA soybean farmers across the southern United States are crying and complaining about the Chinese not buying our soybeans. What? The Chinese are not buying our soybeans because of Trump's tariffs, where they have in turn placed tariffs on our soybeans and made them so expensive that we can't sell soybeans to China, and China is one of the biggest buyers of soybeans.
This story right here, this is one of those wait, what moments. A farmer is going viral saying he didn't think this own fault would affect him as it is just now. I mean him. And now he is feeling the pressure, the consequences, the reality of those same decisions. And listen, for a lot of people watching this, especially in Black community, this is not surprising at all. But before I break it down, I want you to watch some of these clips of this farmer and how people reacted on it. But before we go, I want you to hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comment, and share this video because this conversation is real. So guys, without wasting much time, let's go and watch those clips together, and I'll be waiting.
I'm making this video from Iowa. We own a soybean farm here and we are really struggling right now. The entire soybean industry is collapsing thanks to these tariffs and the fact that China has completely cut off all contracts with the United States. They are importing all of their soybeans from Brazil. Thanks to these trade wars, soybean prices have dropped so much that it's pushing all of us farmers into the red in an already difficult year. We're part of the Soybean Farmers Association, and we sent a letter to the president this month urging him to stop this trade war so that the entire industry doesn't go under. On top of that, the tariffs have made all of our farm equipment skyrocket in price. We can barely afford anything right now. Of course, as a farmer, I voted red just like all the other soybean farmers, and now the people we elected are ruining our entire business, our entire way of life, our entire industry. The same thing happened in 2019 when he had the trade war with China. I mean, I know it doesn't make sense that we voted for him again, but we just can't help it. Anyway, any help that we could get urging him to end this trade war would be much appreciated.
If we snapped our fingers and every single illegal immigrant in the United States disappeared, we would literally starve to death. You wonder why I'm so passionate about agriculture and so passionate about immigration as part of agriculture? It's that, guys. You don't know the whole picture. Now, should we have illegal immigrants working in the field? Should we have illegal immigrants working in construction? Should we have illegal immigrants working in hotels and wherever else they might be? No, we shouldn't. But they are, and there's tens of millions of them working in the system. So if we just say, hey, they got to get out of here, well, you have to have a solution before you just send people out the door. Now, I'm not talking about ethics today, and I've talked a lot about ethics. Let's just talk about economics. Let's just talk about the reality of economics. You send 10 million people out the door that are filling 10 million roles in the United States, and 80% of those people are working in agriculture. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to eat tomorrow if there's all of a sudden not people there to harvest, to pick, to pack, to drive the tractors, to do everything? Pretty quick, you'd find yourself without any food in your mouth, any food in your stomach, and you would be starving to death. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because we can't just be stupid. We have to have a solution. The ethics aside, I'm frustrated by the ethics because I know the people that we're talking about, but I think you still want to eat. So no matter what, we got to look at a solution and not just complain about all of the people who are here illegally, because you'll starve to death without them.
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yes, feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so when you have two candidates where you have Kamala Harris on one side giving you a whole fucking list of shit that she's going to do for you and make your life better, and then you have Trump on the other side who can't even come out with a normal sounding sentence, and you still vote for that guy, and you are a farmer, you are either racist or sexist or both. And they're only crying now because now they are being treated exactly how they voted for other people to be treated. Got that? They are being treated how they voted for other minorities, people of color, everybody else, poor people, sick people. That's how they voted for other people to be treated. And now they're the ones being treated that way by losing their livelihood, their homes, their income, their farms. So do not feel sorry for them. This is exactly what they had coming. Quick follow-up as to why exactly would Trump be doing this to farmers anyways, and I'm guessing 99% chance it's because he wants to bankrupt farms so his corporate buddies can come in and do a land grab. Basically what you have been seeing the last few years, major companies buying up a bunch of rental houses and jacking up the price of rents, and it's all going to corporations. It's probably something similar to let these farms go to foreclosure and his corporate buddies be able to come in, swoop them up, and now you've got bigger companies involved in more of our day-to-day food.
Breaking news. MAGA soybean farmers across the southern United States are crying and complaining about the Chinese not buying our soybeans. What? The Chinese are not buying our soybeans because of Trump's tariffs, where they have in turn placed tariffs on our soybeans and made them so expensive that we can't sell soybeans to China. And China is one of the biggest buyers of soybeans in the world. What? Well, MAGA farmers, who did you vote for? MAGA farmers, we tried to tell you this would not be a pretty picture. MAGA farmers, you not remember back in 2018, 2017, and Trump had another tariff war with China, and this same thing happened. Well, did you not expect it to happen again? There was about a $15 or $16 billion bailout. Socialism for the farmers. Oh, it's okay for you all to get payments when Trump messes up the economy on soybeans and causes China to go to South America to buy soybeans. And it's a problem for you now, and you're crying about it, and you're not happy about it. Well, FAFO. You F around and you're going to find out. You did the same thing again. History under Trump repeats itself. We have the largest deficit increase under Trump before, likewise, the second largest one now. Tariff problems under Trump, and you had problems selling your crops in. Same thing again. So when are you going to learn? What do y'all think? I think they don't need to bail them out. I think they need to play on the same field like the rest of us. They don't need to be bailed out. What do you all think? Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out light bulbs. Y'all voted for Trump. This is what you get. What do you all think?
Every time we go buy something now, you know, the tariffs, what I've seen, the tariffs pass down to the consumer.
So if you have to go buy a new sprayer, like the one behind you,
anything that comes from China that's on that sprayer, there's a tariff, and they're just going to pass it directly to us.
so the tariffs are hitting you more on the purchasing end than they are on the crop sales end.
Farmers farmers, Trump does not care about you, and the only tractor he cares about is that golden tractor. See, if Trump actually cared about farmers, he wouldn't have started his tariff wars that caused massive trade disruptions, led to higher operating costs, and forced many of your buyers to find new suppliers in the world. Nor would he have destroyed USAID that used to buy $2 billion worth of American agriculture products from U.S. farmers every single year. Nor would he have enacted his mass deportations that caused many of your workers to no longer be able to show up to work because they'd been deported, or be too afraid to show up to work because they were afraid that, regardless of their immigration status, they'd be snatched off the street. And he wouldn't have started his war with Iran because the closure of the Strait of Hormuz has led to skyrocketing fuel and fertilizer prices, which has once again increased your operating costs. And although he tries to claim that he couldn't have foreseen that closure, most experts disagree. And the majority of his touted subsidies are going to the top 10% of farmers. This is a guy who thinks that the term groceries is old-fashioned. Do you really think that he knows or cares about where groceries come from?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I need you blue state liberals to stop calling the farmers who voted for their own personal financial ruin stupid. It's infantilizing. They aren't stupid. To actually manage a farm effectively requires insane depths of knowledge in math, science, logistics. These people aren't dumb. But what they are learning, for I think in some cases the first time in their lives, is how expensive racism is. They heard Trump loud and clear when he said that he would deport their labor force and that he would tariff essentially all of the inputs they need to run their facilities. And they absolutely heard him when he claimed over and over again that the US gave too much to the world in aid, and therefore those aid streams, which most often include the food these farmers grow, would be cut. They heard it all. They just didn't believe it. They thought this was just Trump 1.0 and there would be enough adults in the room to say, hey, this is reckless. We can't do this because it will dismantle the economy. Yeah, a lot of farmers were hurt during the first Trump administration. Thanks to his reckless trade wars, particularly with China, a lot of them went bankrupt. And the bailouts that originally happened under Trump's first term didn't mostly even go to these small-scale farmers. It ended up going to big agribusiness. And I have a feeling, if past is prologue, we're gonna see that happen again if bailouts happen at all. Because the reality is these people do not actually want to save these small-scale farms. People in this admin, like J.D. Vance, very specifically invested in things like Acre Trader. Their goal is for these farmers to go bankrupt so that they can consolidate, buy up huge swaths of their land, and make a fortune. So I'm not gonna lie to you, there is very little incentive for anybody in this administration to actually give these farmers a bailout, no matter how angry and white and male they are. I doubt there are any farmers listening to this at the moment, but the billionaires do not care about you. They actually just want to take your stuff. So even if a bailout does come, and I doubt an effective one will, but if it does, it is going to be meager enough to keep these people in dire financial straits. Because the goal of a lot of these billionaires and investment firms is to make them desperate enough to sell. So you can say goodbye to small-scale family farms, that's for sure. What's kind of funny about this is that Let's Go Brandon tried to bail you out for real. And that's probably the last time anyone will, so.
Can we just talk for a minute about the Arkansas soybean farmers? Arkansas voted 2/3 for Trump. Trump had promised to implement tariffs. Trump then implemented those tariffs. China has retaliated, and because our soybeans, the tariff war made our soybeans too expensive. They decided to buy their soybeans from Brazil, signed 20-year contracts with Brazil, and now for a generation, the Arkansas soybean farmers are screwed because they lost their biggest soybean customer. And they are demanding compensation. Demanding. I mean, I almost admire it. I almost admire the audacity. But they said they don't really like taking government handouts, but, you know, they really don't have a choice. And they are demanding that we compensate them.
Well, I guess I'll be the one to tell you that one of the main functions of white supremacy is to make sure that poor and middle-class white people vote against their self-interest rather than share power and prosperity with black people. Since Black History Month isn't for me, it's for you, I want to let you know that all of these videos claiming that you regret your vote are not the moments of redemption that you think it is. What else other than white supremacy would convince you to vote for a con man in a Klan with no meaningful plan for this country other than racism? It was racism. Since Black History Month isn't for me, it's for you. I think it's a good time to let you know that we don't need to see any of those videos claiming that you regret who you voted for. You knew who you voted for. You knew what he said he was going to do, and you were okay with it as long as it didn't impact you. One of the more troubling illusions of white supremacy and also proximity to whiteness is that you start to convince yourself that you're exceptional, that you are going to be the exception, immune, exempt to any detrimental policies that are implemented in this country. I hate to break it to you, but a lot of y'all are not in the tax bracket that you think you are. And the people that are in those tax brackets, they're laughing at you all the way to the bank because they're using you, poor and middle-class white people, to vote against your self-interest, all in the name of preserving white supremacy in this country. I guess the joke's on you.
Hey there, MAGA regret. It is really, really happening. And I grew up in rural Iowa, just 1 hour away from Omaha, Nebraska. Both of my children live in Nebraska. Most of my family are in Nebraska right now. And so this is a really big deal for me. But you guys voted for this. And I don't want to go through the whole thing that everybody else is doing. What I want to talk about is decency. So when I grew up, and probably the same thing for boomers, if you broke something, you made up for it. So say you go borrow your neighbor's ladder and it breaks. You go buy them a new ladder, your wife bakes them a cake or a pie, and you express your sorry several times, and you feel bad. So now your vote, because you did not pay attention the last time or read Project 2025 or anything to point you in the right direction and show you what exactly was going to happen, this is the vote that you made. And so I see many of you coming on here crying fake little tears, but I have zero sympathy for you, because what are you actually doing now? Are you protesting in any way? What are you doing besides trying to get other people to feel bad for you? It's going to require action, and it's going to require you to really go out and mobilize and make a difference now, because you are the one who did the thing. It was you. You made the vote. It's affecting you now, just like it affects the rest of us. So what are you going to do? I'm really anxious to hear what you're going to do to make up for it. We are not the ones that did this. So again, how are you going to make it right? The people in the Midwest it's very, very important to make up for your wrong. So what are you doing to make up for your wrong? Write it down. What action, what mobilization are you doing? This is really the only answer now. I don't want to hear any more tears or any more bullshit. What are you doing? Thank you.
Let's be honest. This went viral because it shows something people don't always expect: consequences. People make decisions thinking it will affect others until it circles back and eats them directly. And when that realization happens, that's when the conversation gets louder, louder, and louder. Now, let's talk about something real here. Every decision, especially political ones, has ripple effects. Policies don't just target one group. They impact economics, industries, community, everybody. So when someone says, I didn't think it would affect me, what they are really saying is they didn't expect to be part of the outcome. And that's a powerful realization. Now, here is where this hits differently. For many Black Americans, the idea that policy can negatively impact your life, that's not a surprise. That's life experience. For generations, decisions made at higher level have shaped opportunities, access, and outcome in Black communities. So when situations like this happen, where someone is shocked that a system they supported also affect them, a lot of people are like, we have been talking about this, not from a place of celebration, but from a place of understanding how system works. And that perspective, it comes from history, awareness, and life reality. Let me say this clearly. Moments like this are a wake-up call when people start realizing that decisions don't just stay in one lane. They start asking better questions. They start paying attention differently. And sometimes it takes personal impact for that awareness to happen. That's just the truth here. This history isn't just about one farmer. It's about understanding that we are all connected through system, policy, and decision. And when something shifts, it doesn't stay isolated. It spread and spread fast. So here is the real takeaway. Don't wait until something affects you personally to start paying attention, because by then the impact is already here. If you feel this, drop a like in the comment below. If you see situation like this before, let me know, because stories like this, they are not just viral, they are lessons. So guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.